This video comes with a fairly lengthy introduction. If you want to skip the explanations and get to the good stuff, go ahead and click to the timestamp on the screen. Hey guys, Skajarmas here, otherwise known as Tone Shift, and I have a question for you. How many of you have heard of Critical Role? Well, for those of you who haven't, it is an incredibly popular series where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons.
We play Dungeons & Dragons!
Or that. We also do that.
Yeah, like that, thank you, Travis. But when the pandemic started, they couldn't play like normal, so they had to come up with a new way to entertain themselves in the campaign's place until they could get a safe way to do it set up. And the solution they came up with was a game they liked to call Narrative Telephone, and it was a riot. And I have shamelessly stolen it for my own entertainment, and boy was it entertaining. So much so that I've decided to share it here with all of you. And I might even share more episodes in the future, depending on how well this one is received. I'm gonna go ahead and let Marisha Ray of Critical Role explain how the game works, because she does a much better job of it than I ever could.
Hello and welcome to Narrative Telephone. For the uninitiated, here's how the game works. Our storyteller of choice will be starting us off by recording a short story. They will then send off that video to the next person who will only be able to watch it once. That person must then record themselves recounting that story to the best of their memory before sending their version off to the next person, and so on and so forth until everyone is gone. The final retelling is sure to be, well, you'll see how it goes.
Okay, so that's the gist. That's how the game works. And I've gotten together an assortment of my own friends, and we played around for ourselves. And we'll probably play more rounds in the future. We're already doing one. Whether or not it goes up here, again, depends on how well this video does. I hope you enjoy, and I would strongly encourage anyone who watches this video to go and check out Critical Role and the Narrative Telephone series they've done. I'll put a link in the description for all those things. They're some of my favorite voice actors. Great people and huge inspirations to me. To be frank, it's kind of my personal unrealistic shoot for the moon, hit the mountain goal to get big enough in the voiceover industry to somehow land a seat at their table as a guest player one of these days. Even if only for one session, it would make me a very, very happy man. All that said, I have kept you long enough. Let the story begin. What new scent approaches? You come to hear a tale from this humble peddler of stories, do you not? I would love to tell you, so long as you tell me a story as well. A tale for a tale. A fair exchange. Would you not agree? Then let us begin. Once upon a time, there lived a mighty Bongan warrior named Kratakas. In his tribe, the Chalmorin, there was none more skilled or experienced in the art of the blade. Many were the fools to be felled by his Kopesh over the years. His clan hailed and revered him as their hero, and the clan knew naught but security and safety under his watch, though they did know that for all of his skill with the blade, Kratakas was not particularly bright. One day, a Bonga from the Raganasta clan by the name of Miguelo sauntered into the Chalmorin village and sought to give a new Kopesh to Kratakas as an offering of peace between their clans. "Take up this blade, great warrior," Miguelo said, "and use it to slay your foes and mine. Chalmorin and Raganasta need not be enemies." Kratakas took up the blade without a second thought, for it was of masterful make, and well balanced, and even enchanted, so he was told. And indeed, the blade served him well in his first battle and his second, but on the eve of his third, the mighty warrior took ill, his once red scales paling as ash. His strength fled his toned muscles, his mind became dulled and clouded, and in the throes of battle, Kratakas was struck down. Not by the blade of a more experienced warrior, but by bumbling into a lone cactuar, spooked by the rumble of battle. You see, the wrappings upon the hilt of his new weapon were laced with a poison of subtle make to cloud the mind and kill the body, slowly, until a husk would be all that remained. With Kratakas gone, the Chalmorine were all but powerless to stop the Raganaster when they invaded, led by none other than the master strategist, Miguelo. It just goes to show you. Danger can lurk in every corner, and a sharp blade matters little against a sharper mind. Now, I have told you my story. What will you tell me?
What new scent approaches? Have you come to hear a tale from this humble peddler of stories, do you not? I would love to tell, as long as you have a story to tell me as well. A tale for a tale. A fair exchange. Do you not agree? Then let us begin. Once upon a time, there lived a mighty Bunga warrior named Kratakas. In his tribe, the Chaulomin, there was none more skilled or one more experienced in the art of the blade. Many have failed to his Kapesh over the years. His clan hailed him as a hero and ensured the security and safety under his watch. Though he did know, as skilled as he was with a blade, Kratakas knew he wasn't particularly bright. One day, a Bunga from the Warakaska clan, by the name of Megalo, sauntered through the Chamberlain village, who has sought to give a new Kapesh to Kratakas as a sign of peace between their clans. "Take up this blade, great warrior," Mikelo said, "to slay many of your foes and mine. Chamberlain and Marakaska may not be enemies." Kratakas picked up the blade without a second thought. It was of master craftsmanship and well balanced, and even was enchanted, so he was told. And indeed, the blade served him well in his first battle and his second. But on the eve of his third, the mighty warrior took ill, his once red scales paling like ash. His strength fled his toned muscles, and his mind became dull and clouded. And in the throes of battle, Kratakas was struck down. not by the blade of a more experienced warrior. Instead, he bumbled into a lone cactar that was spooked by the rumble of battle. You see, the wrapping on his hilt of his new weapon was layered with a poison of subtle make that was designed to cloud the mind and kill the body slowly and slowly until nothing but a hollowed husk remained. With Kratakas gone, the Chaubarin were all but powerless to stop the Rakaska when they invaded, who were led by none other than the genius strategist Megalo. Just goes to show, danger can lurk in every corner, and a sharp blade means little to a sharper mind. So, I have told you my tale. What would you tell me?
Hello, it's the Doctor here, and I propose a bit of an exchange. See, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a story, and you get to do the same. Alright? Okay. So, today's story is a fun tale of wit, humour, and utterly avoidable bloodshed. So, we're going to follow the story of a human, yeah, that funny lot, a human named Kratakost. Now, Kratakost was a renowned fighter. Yes, he was hailed by his clan as a hero with a giant sword that could cut down anything that stood in his path. Yes. And his clan was at war with another clan, the Chow, and the Chow selected an ambassador to parlay with Kratakost, and they chose Nikolaus to parlay with him. Yes, and Nikolaus, the bloody old geezer, he said to Kratakost, "Hey, I challenge you to a fight. Whoever wins doesn't die." And Kratakost was like, "Well, golly, I accept, 'cause I'm a pretty good fighter. Yeah, that's what I do. I fight, and I kill things." So the day comes, the two men, they pick up their big swinging swords, and but alas, Kratakost, he picks up his sword, and oh no, his limbs go heavy, eyelids drooping. He goes stiff and dumb, as one does when you swing a sword all day, and God, the man he perishes in battle. Yes, what happens is he's not struck down. Now, that'll be too easy. I mean, he is struck and pierced, but not by a sword. No. He falls into a cactus and dies. Because you see, what happened is Nikolaus, sly, cunning Nikolaus, he took Kratakost's sword and dusted it with poison. The kind of poison that you don't need to ingest, some other kind of poison, and it just turned his brain into mush. Oh, Kratakost, you were gone too soon. Well, anyway, his clan were all killed, and, well, I guess that's what he gets for picking up a sword that wasn't his. Probably should have used his own sword. But the sword he got it was shiny and pretty, and Nikolaus even told him it was enchanted. Real enchanting, Kratakost. Yeah, I bet that was worth it, wasn't it? Well, that's all I got, so, yeah, maybe don't, the moral of the story, maybe don't trust the people who say they're out to kill you. You know, just Just a little nugget of advice there.
Hello, I am Princess Luna, and I shall be telling you a tale today. A tale of wit and avoidable bloodshed. Now, let's have fun with this, shall we? There was once a man, a powerful and great man, named Chowdicus. With his great sword, he could smite anything he wished and was unbeatable. In his clan, he was most powerful and praised. And in the neighboring clan of Chow, they did not like this and wanted him dead. So, they spoke amongst each other and voted on an minister to go and fight him, one they called Nicola. And so Nicola challenged Chowdicus to fight to the death. The winner does not die. And so he agreed. And so, come the day of the battle, they took their swords and prepared for battle. But suddenly, Chowdicus felt heavy in the arms, and tired and droopy-eyed. And then he died, and yet not by a sword, but from falling into a cactus. For his fate was already sealed before the battle. For clever Nikolai had used poison on his own sword. A poison not to be ingested, but to just be touched, which he put on the sword handle that he gave to Chowdicus, claiming that it was enchanted. And yet it was not. And so, Nikolai and the Cho clan went and killed the rest of Chowdicus's clan, and so that is pretty much it. So, the moral of the story, do not trust those who claim to want to kill you. So, unlike Chowdicus, be wise, and don't take swords from other people who you are about to slay, or fight to the death, either one. Have a nice day.
Greetings, my name is Princess Luna, and I am here to tell you of a tale. A telling tale it is. Well, let us get started. There was once a man named Chowdicus. With his great sword in hand, he could smite any foe, for in his clan he was the strongest and most praised. The neighboring clan of Chow did not like this, and they voted for an administrator to smite this foe. And one voted upon was a man named Nikolai. Nikolai then ventured to challenge Chowdicus. As Chowdicus came onto the battlefield, it was far too late, for he did die, though not by battle, but by falling on a cactus. For before the battle, Nikolai poisoned his sword, not by ingestion, but by touch, poisoning the handle of the sword that he would give to Chowdicus, saying that it was enchanted, but it was not. And so Nikolai and his clan went and slew Chowdicus' clan. So the moral, and that is pretty much it. So the moral of this story is, do not accept gifts from your enemy. Come on, that's pretty obvious. And that is all. Farewell.
Hello, I am Princess Luna. I have a story to tell, so let's begin. There once was someone named Chowdicus, and with a giant great sword in hand, he could smite all who opposed him. But one day, a neighboring clan had someone named Chow, and they sent a minister named Nikolai, and he snuck up on him and ultimately fell on a cactus. For his plan of deceit was to poison the great sword, not through ingestion but touch. And he played it off as if the sword was enchanted and gave it to Chowdicus. So that's pretty much it. The moral of the story is, of course, not to accept gifts from your enemy. That should be pretty obvious. Thanks for listening.
Hello, I am Princess Luna, and I have a story to tell. So let's begin. Our story begins with the tale of Shouticus. He had a magnificent greatsword. This greatsword came to him not from a blacksmith, but from someone named Nikolai. Nikolai was to deliver this sword to him, but ultimately fell on to a cactus. Nikolai was ultimately his enemy. The moral of this story is, of course, not to accept gifts from your enemies. That should be pretty obvious. Thanks for listening. That was crap, but that's okay, because I know that it's not for anyone else.
Greetings, my little ponies. I am Princess Luna, and I have a story to tell thee upon this day. It is a story beginning with a stallion named Shouticus, who commissioned a great and powerful sword, one that would not be made by any average blacksmith, but by one coming from the name of Nikolai. Now, when Nikolai came to deliver thy sword, he fell upon a cactus, and from that point forward, I suppose was his enemy? And the moral of this story is, do not accept gifts from your enemies, or a cactus will beat the shit out of you, for reasons I can only guess at. The end.
Hello. So, this is a story about a person named Shouticus. Apparently he got really fucking mad, so he needed a sword. And when he went to go talk to his fucking blacksmith friend, Nikolai, he got a sword. But, Nikolai, man, you should have seen this fucking bitch. He hates cacti. Like, with a burning passion. So, he saw a cactus on his way to go deliver the sword, and oh boy, he got fucking mad. You wanna know what fucking happened? Well, I don't know what fucking happened. I wasn't there, personally. I was, in fact, I don't even know where I really heard this story, but oh boy. Eternal war between people and cactuses pursued, and now we're here. And I guess the story's supposed to have some moral about not taking anything from your enemies. And, I don't know, still something to do with fucking cacti and a sword. And there were those two other people I mentioned, but I don't know who the fuck they are.